Today we're covering 8th grade, Chapter 3, Lesson 3, Slope and Similar Triangles. Triangles that share the same slope, which is the line, on a coordinate plane are similar triangles. And we kind of talked about similar shapes yesterday. So if they're similar, that means all their angles are equal and all of their sides are proportional. And in case you forgot, slope is the constant rate of change. It's when the rate of change between any two quantities is the same, and we call that slope. You might remember change of y over change of x. So I don't know if you have the notes with the triangles already drawn, but I'm going to draw some because mine does not have it. This will be triangle B, and this is going to be triangle C. All of those triangles are on the same line. This line right here is the slope. It's across from where the right angle is. That is the slope. So we want to prove that they are all on the same slope. So I'm going to take some points from our triangles. I'm going to start with this one and this one. And this is point -8, -9, and this one is 4, 0. And eventually I'm going to get to this, 20, -12. So I'm going to take those points and I'm going to write them and figure out what the slope is. So change of y over change of x means that the y's go on top. So the y's that I have are 0 and -9. And the x that went with 0 is 4, minus the x that went with -9 is -8. And sometimes we put the negative number in parentheses. That's just to kind of confine the negativity so that you can tell the difference between the negative sign and the minus sign. Okay, and when we start working it, you have to think of the rules for subtracting integers: keep, change, opposite. And on the bottom is also subtraction, so keep, change, opposite. 0 plus +9 makes 9, and 4 plus +8 makes 12. And then we can simplify that fraction to 3 over 4. And then I want to find, that was for triangle B, and now I want to do triangle C. And again, it's change of y over change of x, and the y's are 12 minus 0. See, I'm using the same point. And the x that went with 12 is 20, and the x that went with 0 is 4. 12 minus 0 is 12, and 20 minus 4 is 16. And then we simplify. We can divide both of those by 4, and we get 3/4. So indeed, our slopes are the same. But how it looks on a test is they're going to expect you to write it as a proportion. So it's going to look like 0 minus -9 over 4 minus -8. And I got that right here. That was from triangle B. And then that's going to be equal to 12 minus 0 over 20 minus 4. And I got that from triangle C. And on the test, they may try to trick you, and they may mix up the x's and the y's. You have to remember y's go on top, x's go on bottom, and each point lines up. So 0, 4 went together, 9, 8 goes together, 12, 20 goes together, and 0, 4 goes together. Let's look. Today you're going to have to do it on paper and take a picture and add it to the assignment. We are not going to do number 4. You can skip that one. We're going to do these first 3. And I'm going to do this one right here with you, so you know how to do it. They give you some points, R, S, and T for triangle RST. So let's go put the points on there. Go over 1 and up to 6. Put a dot and be sure to label it. And then we're going to go to the right 1 and down 6. Put a dot and label it S. And then we're going to the left 3 and down to 6. Put a dot and label it T. That's a pretty big triangle. And we connect the dots to make a triangle. Okay, so that's RST. And then you might want to use a different color so you can see the second triangle, which is UVW. I'm going to go over -1 and up 0. And go -1 and down 3. Put a dot. Sorry, forgot to label. And then go -2 to -3. Put a dot, and that's W. Now, if my line was straight, this should be all on the same line. If you can use a straight edge, that might help you get it straighter. Okay, so that's the first part. Put it on the graph. The second part is write a proportion. And we're going to write a proportion for the slope. The points on the slope are R and T. So that's going to be the first fraction. And you can use the points where they're written up here on the top. So the y's are 6 minus -6. And the x that went with the +6 is 1. And the x that went with -6 is -3. Now we're going to find the slope of the little triangle, and the points on the slope are U and W. And we're setting them up as a proportion. So there should be an equal sign because these are equal to each other. So our y's are 0 minus -3. And the x that went with 0 is -1 minus the x that goes with -3 is -2. So there's our proportion. So first you have to graph it, then you write a proportion, and then you find the slope. And you find the slope by solving one of those fractions that you just set up. It doesn't matter which one you solve because they are the same, they are equal. So I'm just going to solve this red one over here because it's on the end. So we need to use the rules for subtracting integers. So keep, change, change. 0 plus +3 makes 3. And on the bottom I have -1 plus +2 makes 1. And 3 over 1 makes 3. So the slope is 3. So there's 3 things you have to do on each question. Graph it, write the proportion, that's this, and find the slope. And again, you can skip number 4. So there should be 3 problems for you to do by yourself.